House Ministries is a faith-based community organization that provides shelter and intervention to families with children that have found themselves homeless. And we do that through life-changing, Christ-centered programming. The causes of homelessness are pretty varied, and it can be a series of bad choices, but it's so much more than that, because I've met a lot of families who, through really no choice of their own, found themselves homeless. Adults walk in our doors that have been raised as homeless children and are now adults fathering and mothering another generation of homeless kids. Today we want to have a conversation about ACEs, which is an acronym for Adverse Childhood Experiences. Adverse childhood experiences have been documented to not only increase the likelihood of bad behavior as an adult, but also to have a direct linkage to bad health. And I'm going to ask for you to go through and just answer those 10 questions about your childhood experiences, and then we'll spend a few minutes talking about them. Can you share your ACEs score with us, please?
6. 8.
3.
8.
9.
Thank you. Right now it's just a number on a piece of paper, but to you it's something very, very personal, and it goes deep and it goes way, way back.
My dad was diagnosed with mental illness and was also an addict. He had threatened my mom with violence, and she actually left all of us. And then she struggled with addiction for a really long time after that.
I found escape from my emotions through drugs, and I ended up becoming pregnant at 15. It wasn't until I came here to open house I realized, that I'd done just the same thing as my mom did.
My name is Miranda, and I scored an 8. My family is very sick, and I still feel like they're very sick to this day. My mom and dad split when I was 5, and I thought that was the best thing in the world. I thought, I'm gonna be safe now. But my mom continued to drink, and we got passed around from family to family. A lot of the adults in my life gave up.
So the effects of this toxic stress on our adults is telling, but the part that's often invisible to us is the effects on the children. It's so intrinsic to the person that's struggling that they lose track of the fact that it's also being handed directly to their children.
My dad died a couple years ago, and I never really felt the need to even kind of miss him, because he never was there. I never really had him. I didn't want my kids to feel that way.
I see myself making the same decisions as my mother did and my dad. So by choosing the man that I chose to have kids with, going to prison, and that stuff is like normal for my daughter, for Leah especially. Like I just realized it when she was playing house one day. She was telling one of the little boys, I'm the mom and you're the daddy, and you go to prison. And it hit me like, that's normal to her.
It's so very, very important that that cycle is broken. And so we see a lot of adults that are starting to understand the depth and the breadth of what they've gone through. And perhaps at open house, it's the first time that they have professional help.
way I was going, you know, I didn't want my kids to remember me as a drug addict or a failure. So I had to change.
Open House has become my family. I couldn't imagine life without Open House.
There's just no place like this. It's a godsend, and it's something I'll never forget and I'll always be a part of.
Thanks to Open House, coming here, it opened my eyes to a love that I never felt. Open House, though, not only teaches you how to love your kids and everybody else around you, but they teach you how to love yourself. It's what they helped me most with.